Hello people, welcome back. In this series, we are going to learn how to build websites, build systems, and build software from scratch. In this first video, I will start completely from zero. So even if you have never touched code before, you don't have to worry. We are going to understand what a website actually is, how website actually works, and we are going to even set up the tools that we need for our website development journey. Let's jump right in. In this series, we are going to be learning about website development, and today I want us to start by answering the most asked question, which is what is website development? Website development, it simply means building a website that lands on the internet. Every website that you see, be it YouTube, Instagram, everything, as far as it is website concerned, they were built using website development. There are three main parts of a website: the front end, backend, and the databases. Front end, it is simply what you see. These are the buttons, images, and the text that you see whenever you visit a website. Backend, on the other side, backend it is how the website actually works behind the scenes. And the last one, which is the databases is where data is stored. But in this series, we will start with frontend first and then slowly move to backend and systems. In the next section, we are going to talk about how a website really works. See you on the next one. So for us to start our website development journey, we're going to need to have two tools installed into our computer or our PC or a laptop, whatever you are using. So the first tool that you're going to use, to need, is our code editor. And in my case, I'm going to use a VS Code editor, but any other code editor will still work the same. The next tool that you're going to need is a browser. In my case, I'm going to use a Chrome browser, which I really recommend. But if you are in Mac, you can use Safari. It is okay. It will work the same. So let me minimize my camera so that I can show you how we are going to get these tools installed into our PC. So first, you're going to go to, I've opened now my browser, my Chrome browser. I have it already installed. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to type uh, to type Visual Studio Code, download, and you can see it here. And then I'm going to open, and then I'm going to click on the first link here so that I can download my Visual Studio Code editor. And then now you will be directed to this home page. And here now, if you're using Windows, you can select user installer x64 or any of these ones. And if you are using other operating systems like Ubuntu, Debian, and etc., you can select your Visual Studio Code version here. And if you're using a Mac OS, then you can download your Visual Studio Code for Mac OS. That is the first tool that we're going to use. And now, after downloading the Visual Studio Code, the next tool is our browser, which is the Chrome browser. So you can just come, if you don't have it installed, you can just open the code or the browser that you have, and you can just type Chrome download, and then press enter. And then now you can just click the first one here, and then you're going to follow all the steps so that you download the Chrome browser in your PC. And with all that, then it has already opened. You can see now you have the download Chrome button here, and I'm not going to click it because I already have Chrome installed in my PC. So let's jump right in and open our code editor to see how it looks. So I'm just going to close. So after finishing installing VS Studio Code, this is the welcome screen page that you will see. So it has some few shortcuts here. You can create a new file here. You can open a file, open folder, cron git repository, and many other more shortcuts from here. But what you're going to do is you're just going to close here by clicking there, and then now we're going to open a folder, and this folder is where we are going now to be installing our files for our website. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click file here, and then I'm just going to open a folder like that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go to my documents, and then I like installing uh, all my folders in under documents so that I can easily access all of them. So I'm just going to create a new folder for this series. So it's going to be our front end series. So I'm just going to name it front end series, and then I'm just going to press enter. And then now I'm just going to select that folder that I've already created, and just by selecting it, it will open now into our VS Code editor. And then now what we're going to do, I'm just going to close this chat here. This is where you can chat with the bot of the VS Code. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just also going to close this welcome again. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a new file. And now this file will be located inside the front-end series folder that we have already created. So I'm just going to click this file icon here, and then I'm just going to name my file to index.html like that. And then now I'm just going to place shift exclamation mark and then press enter, and this will give me a boilerplate, a HTML boilerplate. And don't worry about all of this, I'm just going to explain in a bit. And then I'm just going to cross this section here like that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change the title here, and this title, I'm just going to change this title to be maybe our first website like that. And then now I'm just going to type a h1 here, which is going to be also our first website. And then now I'm just going to save all of my work, so by pressing Control S, that is in Windows. And then if you're using a Mac, you can just press Command S to save. Now let me explain all of this. So I'm just going to start with the doc type HTML. So this one, its work is to tell the browser that we are creating a HTML file. And now the HTML and that the work of the doc type is to tell the browser that this is a HTML file. Then on the other side, the HTML now, the HTML, it is now the entire file that is containing all our code. Then the head is where now we store all other details which are not meant to be visible to the user. So every details or everything that is contained under the head section or under the head, there that details will not be visible to the users. And we have meta tags here. These are to help first of all our website to be responsive, and also to be able to be encoded with the browsers. Okay, so also the title now, when it comes to the title, it is what it is. I'm going to show you where it is, but the title is visible in the top of the browser. So I'm just going to show you what it means. And then now when it comes to body, it is where we store all the details that will be visible to our user. So this is our first web page or our website, and there are two ways to learn it so that we can see how it looks on the browser. The first thing, we can learn it manually by just crossing or opening the folder that we or opening our folder here. So we're just going to open folder the folder that we have created, and I'm just going to open it from there. So I'm just going to maximize this one, and then I'm just going to go to documents, and I'm looking for the file that we have already created, which is the front-end series, and then I'm going to open it, and then you can see now the name of the file that we already created, which is index.html, and then I can double click it to open it in our browser. So you can see that now we have our heading, which is our first website, and then you can see now our title. This is where the title appears, our first website. So if I go back to my code editor and maybe change this to be front end series, or from to front end website, and I control and S to save, and then I go back to our Chrome like this and refresh. You can see that our title has changed to front end website. So that is where now the the title appears, and also now this is the entire body, which is what as users we are seeing. Let me show you the other method you can learn your your file, because this one is tiresome and it requires you to manually refresh the page so that you can see the changes that you have made. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go back to our code editor, and the second method is by installing an extension that is called live server extension. It is so helpful because uh, it helps the browser to all to refresh itself without you manually refreshing. So it becomes easier for you while you are coding. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're just going to go to extensions, and then we are going to search for a live server extension. So you can see it here. Even if you don't see it here, you can just type live server in you can just type live server, and then it's going to come, and then you're going to select this one from Litwick Day, and then you're going to install it and make sure to enable it so that it can work. I have it already installed and enabled in my PC, so I'm not going to repeat that process. So let me show you how now you can open your file now using live server. So you're just going to come to your file, and then you're going to uh, light light click, and then you can see that you have an option open with live server here, and then when you click here, it is going to open the file into your browser directly. The best thing about this is that whenever I make a change here, if I come just say maybe add something here, maybe let's say you just created your first website. You just created your first website, and if I save like that and go back to our browser, you can see that it is automatically refreshing itself, which means we don't have to manually refresh each refresh the page each and every time we make a change. So let's so that is how you open a file, how you open a file, create a folder, and you create your first website page. So in the next